Let's talk about a role that millions of us will step into at some point, being a caregiver. We always think of it as this incredible act of love, and it absolutely is. But there's this unseen cost that comes with it, a cost to our health, our careers, and maybe most importantly, our financial future. So today we're going to get real about the true weight of caregiving and talk about the strategies you need to protect yourself while you're taking care of someone you love.
Okay, so right off the bat, we need to completely flip the script on how we think about this. This quote from Dr. Chelsea Mendonca really gets to the core of it. We're so often told that taking care of ourselves is selfish. But when you're a caregiver, it's the single most important tool you have. Staying strong isn't just about you. It is the foundation for giving the best care possible to your loved one over the long haul.
And this is not some small niche issue. I mean, look at that number, 43.5 million Americans. If you're a caregiver, you are part of this enormous, often invisible workforce. It can feel like the most isolating job in the world, but I want you to see this number and know you are so far from being alone.
So we've got to frame this the right way. This isn't just a family duty. It's not a hobby. For millions of people, caregiving is a second job, a really demanding, unpaid second job. And it's one that comes with no training manual, no sick days, and a lot of the time, no clear end date. And what happens when you work that demanding second job without any support? Well, you get something called caregiver burnout. And listen, this isn't just about feeling a little tired. It's a deep, soul-crushing exhaustion that bleeds into every single corner of your life. This is not a personal failure. It's what predictably happens when a person is under constant, relentless stress.
I find this idea so powerful. The invisible patient. Think about that. All the attention, all the appointments, all the worry is focused on the person getting the care. But behind the scenes, the caregiver is often silently dealing with their own health falling apart, feeling totally isolated, and watching their finances spiral. They become a patient in their own right, but nobody sees it.
So, how do you stop this thing before it completely takes over your life? Well, it all starts with spotting the early warning signs. And this is so important because the biggest mistake people make is they just ignore these symptoms. They push through until they hit a wall, a real crisis point.
Seriously, take a look at this list. Does any of it feel familiar? That feeling of being tired no matter how much you sleep. The constant worry humming in the background, snapping at small things. This isn't you having a bad week. This is your body's check engine light flashing. These are the classic signs that you are running on empty. And this quote just nails a huge part of the problem, especially for those of us who are used to just getting things done. We treat caregiving like another project to manage. We just power through, telling everyone, I'm fine, I've got it. But that I'm fine is often a warning sign that you're actually on a collision course with total burnout. And beyond the emotional toll, we have to talk about the financial anxiety because it is immense. You have the obvious direct costs, right? The bills, the equipment, but it's the indirect costs that are often the real killers. Cutting back your hours at work, missing out on a promotion, or even having to quit your job entirely. This isn't just about money being tight right now. This is about sacrificing your entire financial future to deal with the present. Let's just look at how this snowballs. It's a compounding crisis. You're paying more out of pocket for things, and at the exact same time, you're earning less income. So what happens? Your savings disappear, your retirement contributions stop. It creates this incredible pressure that just multiplies all the other stress you're feeling.
I really need you to hear this part. This isn't just a feeling. This isn't just in your head. The stress of being a caregiver has real, measurable, and honestly pretty dangerous effects on your body. The science on this is crystal clear, and it's something we all need to take seriously.
So here's the key difference. There's good stress, right? Acute stress. You swerve to avoid a car, your heart pounds, and then it's over. Your body calms down. That's your fight or flight system working perfectly. But caregiving, that's chronic stress. It's like the alarm bell is always ringing. Your body's emergency system never gets the signal to stand down, and that's when it starts to break things.
Okay, now for the hard data. This stuff is wild. Studies show that the telomeres in a caregiver's DNA, you can think of them as the little protective caps on your chromosomes, they get shorter faster. That is a biological marker for premature aging. Let me just say that again. The chronic stress of caregiving can literally cause your body to age faster at a cellular level. It also tanks your immune system and cranks up inflammation, which puts you at a much higher risk for all sorts of diseases.
All right, I know that was a lot of bad news, but here's the good news. You are not powerless in this situation. Not at all. Seeing the problem for what it is, that's step one. Now let's talk about the game plan. Let's build a strategy for self-preservation, for protecting your health and your future.
It all starts in your head.
First, you have to give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Anger, resentment, guilt, these don't make you a bad person. They are normal biological reactions to a crazy hard situation. Second, try to reconnect with why you're doing this in the first place. And third, and this is huge, focus only on what you can actually control. You can't control the illness, but you can control how you choose to react to it today.
Okay, once you have the right mindset, it's time for action. Number 1, boundaries. You have to know your limits, and you have to learn to say no. Number 2, take breaks. And I'm not talking about a luxury vacation. A break can be an hour to read a book. It is a non-negotiable necessity. And maybe the most critical one? Do not skip your own doctor's appointments. Your health has to be your top priority.
Let me just say this as plainly as I can. You cannot do this alone. Trying to is a recipe for disaster. Isolation is rocket fuel for burnout. So the final, most crucial strategy is to build your support system on purpose.
And can we please get this idea out of our heads? Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's not failure. It is a sign of incredible strength and self-awareness. It's you recognizing the reality that this job is too big for one person to handle. Period.
Think of this as your toolkit for survival. Don't wait until the house is on fire to look for the fire extinguisher. Be specific with family and friends about what you need. Find a support group, even an online one, just so you can talk to people who get it. And look into professional help. Things like respite care, which is basically temporary relief care, or a home health aide aren't luxuries. They are essential infrastructure that makes caregiving sustainable.
So we'll end with this. The care you're providing is, without a doubt, a lifeline for your loved one. But every lifeline has to be anchored to something strong. So I want you to ask yourself, really ask yourself, who is holding your lifeline? Because protecting that anchor isn't selfish. It's the only way to make sure that lifeline stays strong for as long as it's needed.